Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Hayden with Hill Pursuit. Today's show is episode 78 of the Hill Pursuit podcast. And this episode is a Ohio 70.3 race recap episode. Takes us a little bit to get there, so stick with us through the intro. We talk a lot about what Coach Kenny Rogers, has been up to for the past couple weeks. Some big news for Kenny. We talk about his training as well. He went to some cool places, experienced some cool stuff, has some cool news. Definitely want to listen to the first 10-ish minutes of this one. Don't skip over it. Eventually, we do get to the Ohio 70.3 recap, which was just an awesome race. A great day, great weather. Huge shout out to Victory Multisport athletes, but then also the support of the Victory crew, essentially. Posting up at the tent, cheering on other Victory athletes, and just cheering everybody on and creating great energy on the run course. So huge shout out to them. Another huge shout out for me personally to my family, my wife's family specifically, has a home very near where this race is held, and it was just awesome to see so many people, so many of my family there supporting me. So big shout out to them as well. Talk a little bit about everything with this race. It was a great race. I raced fairly well, so that was exciting. Much different than Happy Valley, a few weeks ago. So I'm not going to give anything away, but definitely give it a listen. Hear about the course and hear about how the race day went for me. If you are listening and have been listening, thank you for doing that. If you're just listening on the podcast, which streams anywhere, so Spotify, Podbean, Google, Apple, wherever, just don't forget that we do also have a YouTube channel. You can check that out. We post some cool nutrition shorts. We have some stuff from different nutrition coaches, some race day stuff, some workout things. Check out the YouTube channel, subscribe to that. We also, of course, just have access to any and every podcast episode, YouTube, blog, whatever, coaching stuff, nutrition stuff at the website, hillpursuit.com. You can also just send me an email whenever you'd like, hillpursuit@gmail.com. Find us on all the socials at Hill Pursuit, Facebook, Instagram, wherever else. Drop us a line, send us a message, start a conversation, ask a question. We encourage all of that, and we love when that happens. So, and that actually happened at Ohio 70.3. So if that was you, if that was you, I'm not going to give it away, but if that was you, please listen. Send us a message, comment, find us somehow. We really appreciate the shout. That's all I have for right now. This is episode 78, Ohio 7.3 race recap. Here we go. All right, here we are, episode 78. How's it going, dude?
Can't complain, man. Just got back from probably one of the most beautiful places ever, so no complaints from my end.
Yeah, dude. Tell us about it. That was freaking awesome. Those pictures you were sending me.
uh, Summary, Kauai's pretty awesome. Some of the sites that you'll see there are probably like nowhere else. Took a really cool little helicopter tour, which Grace got me for my big 30th birthday. I got to see the Nepali coast, all of the I guess you could say mountain-esque portions of it as well. It was just a really, really cool trip, man. We stayed at this really nice resort. Thank you, Michael and Lauren, for that. It was called the Grand Hyatt. Really cool pools. Really only had one little slip up at the beginning, which we kind of didn't have to worry about as much as I thought we were going to have to. Dude, there was like probably close to 200 people in the checked bag line to get there, and we thought we were actually going to miss our flight. But
Oh
besides that,
man.
the rest of the trip was awesome. It was definitely more than what I expected, and I still got most of my training in. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, it was a good time.
Pretty awesome to train out there in that environment though, huh?
Oh, dude, but holy crap, man! I'm not used to that humidity that they got out there. So
Yeah.
that was a trip. I was sweating.
Um there's more than just your birthday we have to talk about, right?
Ayo. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be a dad. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, we've obviously known for a little bit now. We were obviously gonna wait until we felt comfortable with making the announcement to everybody, but yeah, dude, I'm pretty freaking stoked. So
That's
it's
awesome,
kind of
man.
it kind of also kind of worked out perfect for me, almost in a weird way that I chose to do the Ironman in Sacramento in October because I believe I can say this now. We're expecting in like end of January. So, it's kind of like my last little
Yeah,
hurrah of like stupid fitness for a little bit and then,
yeah,
maybe a little bit further down the line. So,
yeah. Dude, that's just incredible. I mean, it's the best. It's absolutely the best. I mean, I texted you and Grace a little bit. I think I said something like it's not easy all the time or whatever, but it's just absolutely the best. So you'll love
yeah.
it. Congrats, man. Excited for you.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. Yeah, it's just like this wave of maturity just keeps on falling on top of me.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
turn
I
30,
just
you turn 30 and boom, all of a sudden it's like dad
yeah,
life is right around the corner.
God had a plan, and his plan was to make me a man all within the same week. So that was great.
Oh, that's
uh,
incredible.
but yeah,
Well,
dude,
dude, that's awesome.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
best of luck to Grace, obviously throughout the pregnancy. So that's sweet. That's awesome. Um,
And for like the rest of forever because she's married to me. But we won't get into
that's
that.
that's just a given. That's just a given.
Yeah,
Just
I
just
just had to say that for the people that might listen to this.
yeah,
Like I can be a lot to deal with sometimes. And bro, I just got done training freaking 9 people. I came home and I'm here. I am still talking after 9 hours of
yeah,
talking.
yeah. That's big. That's big boy stuff for sure. How's your training been going? What's up with like the swim kick? Just give me an update on that.
Ankles are one hundo finally. So I was at hit all my big swims so far. I did like a little practice session in the pool yesterday. Not like a actual like I guess you could say like fitness session, more like a like technique session. I watched a couple like I guess you could say YouTube videos on proper technique when it comes to like your strokes, like a what was it like a one stroke and three kicks, and then like how to align your arms and like how to flutter correctly. So I think I don't know exactly what I did, but I had zero pain today and I swam, and I haven't had any pain at all in about what's it been, a week and a half. So yeah,
That's awesome.
everything's getting together, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, let's keep it that way for sure because you got some big stuff ahead, obviously. But
I'm ready.
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm ready to.
I feel like this Iron Man is literally right around the corner for you. Is that wrong to say? I mean, it's August.
It's creeping in there because
Like
like
it's August. Your race is in October.
yeah, it's not really like I'm not really honestly worried about the I mean this is I don't want to sound conceited here or like oh whatever I'm so fit or anything but like
Yeah,
I'm not so much worried about the actual like physical portion of the event. I'm more worried about like the thought keeps creeping in my head of like mechanical failures or like the little things or um like the uncontrollable things, I guess is what I'm
yeah,
trying to say. That's kind
yeah,
of freaking me out more than anything else. Because I know you hear about this stuff all the time, but like this is all very new to me.
yeah.
So like when I hear people's bike chains popping off or they get a flat tire or
Sure.
like they forget something or like those things are the things that freak me out more than,
Yeah,
training and
yeah,
like
yeah,
getting
yeah,
ready for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely lucky in that sense, and to people listening who think you sound crazy, I can definitely attest to the fact that physically, like you'll be ready, and that's not a question. But I mean, the saying is, just only worry about what is controllable. Obviously, you know that, and everything else just kind of the cards fall as they are. And if something does happen, you just deal with it. It's you don't plan to get a flat, you don't plan to crash your bike, whatever. You don't plan any of that stuff. You just kind of adapt to it on the fly, right? So, but yeah, I mean, on top of all that, we got to get you some. some smaller race experience too. So we got to find something for you that's like at least like 6 weeks out, so you have time to go back to the drawing board and realize what did or didn't go right in transition, or while you're riding, if you're missing something, so we gotta find something for you, but we will. We have time. But anyways, let's if you stuck with us, cool. But yeah, some cool dad life stuff, I guess, and everything else. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Ohio real quick, just because I
Yeah.
hadn't yet. Actually, the first part about Ohio that I have to mention is someone on the run course who I haven't ever met recognized me and said like, "Yo, Hayden, Hill Pursuit, love your stuff." And I was just like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Thanks, man." And we passed each other a few times on the run course. We must have finished relatively close to one another because I'm just like hanging out, talking to my family after the race, and I'm seeing him like walk by with his medal. So I pulled him aside. I think his name's Rick, and it's my own fault for not like doing this podcast almost immediately after the race. But we spoke for a couple minutes, and I was just like, "Yeah, like where do I know you from somewhere? Whatever." And he just like follows. He just follows Hill Pursuit, I guess, and likes the podcast, likes some of the nutrition shorts and all that stuff, and probably the Instagram stuff. But if you're listening, Rick, send us an email or a DM or something so we can connect again. Just because that was really cool, and I'd love to connect somewhere else somehow, or again at least. So thanks for the shout, and from what I remember, he had a really great race somewhere around like 540 or 550 or something like that. Maybe I don't want to say that, but maybe even quicker. I don't remember exactly, just because we were chatting just right after the race when everybody's sucking. So, but anyway, yeah, let's talk about Ohio. So, um, this race was pretty sweet. Just kind of stop me whenever if something pops up. I don't remember what we spoke about, before or after this race, but this race is pretty cool. I did it last year, so it's traditionally held in, or it was traditionally held in Delaware, Ohio. But it got moved. Last year was the first year it was held in Sandusky, Ohio, and my wife's family has a lake house in Sandusky, Ohio, and they've had it literally for forever. So I've been going out there for over 10 years. I haven't been doing triathlon for over 10 years, but in the years that I have been, I've basically been riding the course without knowing I was on the course until they like announced that the race was coming. So, I've probably hit like 10 to 15 miles of the actual course without even knowing I was on the course. Then they announced it. So naturally, last year I raced it. I ride that course when during the season every single time that we're out at the lake over the summer. So quite a bit, sometimes twice in a weekend. So I've ridden this course like a handful of times. Very familiar with the course. The run is awesome too. It's a great run for like spectators and energy. So, you get off the bike and you're just like around people the whole time. And not every race is like this. And it's just great energy, and it just helps you. It helps you, and you don't know it helps you until you're in that pain cave, or whatever you want to call it, and then all of a sudden you see somebody that or somebody you don't know, and they're just like randomly are trying to get you to pick it up or encourage you. So this was a great run course for that stuff, which was sweet. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, no, I just want to ask like how the transitions
Yeah.
go, like because I know at the Penn State, obviously there's all that stuff going on. This was the first time this event was held there, right? You said?
At Penn State.
No, 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 this Ohio one.
The
Like they
Ohio one
changed locations.
this year was the second year they had it in Sandusky. but
Okay.
it's the first time. These 2 years are the first like go round that it's ever been at Sandusky. But yeah, this was the second year it was held in Sandusky, so it was like it went off. It went off very well, I would say. But yeah,
Okay.
we'll dive into it. So yeah,
Okay.
that's a good point. Like Penn State was two transition areas, and the logistics of Penn State were honestly like a nightmare and very bad for spectators. If you remember, I said that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
this one's the exact opposite. One transition area, so everything's there. Your bike stuff's there. Your run stuff's there. You're out of the water onto the bike. You park the bike right in the same exact spot. Put your shoes on. Like the most simplistic form of a transition that
That's what I need.
exists. I
I
know,
need
dude.
that.
And it's like you race in a local race or something, and the transition area is tiny. There's a couple hundred athletes maybe, and it's like really really quick transitions. That's what this race feels like, even though it's a huge half Ironman event.
How many people do you know?
I actually don't know the final count, but I think there were about 18 to 1900, which
Are
I think
there, is that typical?
yeah, that might be a
Okay.
little low. That might be a little low.
Okay.
Um, and honestly, I think it's a little low for the reason of the swim, to be honest. So let's just dive into that. This
Okay.
swim is not an easy swim. Um, it's weird because it's in Lake Erie, and the actual swim location.
Born and raised.
Yeah,
That's where I'm
you.
from, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dude,
Yeah,
that's
you
cool.
gotta. Hey, bro. I hope you didn't swallow any of that water, man.
I know, I know. Oh, don't even say that. But
I got stories, man, that we can talk about later. But yeah,
yeah.
you don't want to be choking down that water in the middle of that
Oh,
swim.
yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. You always swallow a little bit. I mean, you're out there for 40 minutes or so. I mean, you're gonna accidentally swallow a little bit.
Go get tested.
Yeah, yeah. Don't swallow the Lake Erie water. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but
Um,
keep going though. Why did Lake Erie suck?
so it's a protected swim.
Yeah.
So like off the bat, you read it as an athlete. You're in the athlete guide. You're like, oh, this swim is protected. It's going to be a nice cruise, easy swim. Well, first of all, the coolest part about the swim is you jump off the back of a boat.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
That's kind of cool.
awesome. Like, I think it got a lot of appeal last year, year one, because they really promoted that. Like, hey, start your race by jumping off the back of this boat. It's literally just like a ferry service that takes you from Sandusky to like a small island. I believe is Put-in Bay is what it's called. So
Yeah.
um, there's like a little ferry service, and on the back they take you through this pier onto this boat, and then the boat is wide open, like typically where vehicles are parked as people are taking their cars over, and there's like three lines of athletes just in the bottom of this boat. You get to the edge of it, three, two, one, you just jump off of it, which is really cool. And I'll admit, it is cool. I like it. I think it's pretty sweet. Um, but that being said, the timer for your race is like 10 meters away. So you're like jumping into the water and you're losing your goggles and like you're suffocating or something. Like everyone has a problem when they jump in because you don't ever plan to jump in. And then you have to go swim 10 meters and then your race starts or whatever, wherever the start line is. It's not right off the boat is my point. Um, but anyway, that's really cool. And then the swim goes like straight out about 200 meters, takes a hard left turn, and that left turn, that straightaway is like the longest straightaway of the entire swim, and it's all at that time in the morning. It's all a little bit against the current. Now, even if that was it wouldn't be that bad. Like it wouldn't be that difficult because it's still protected. It's not like the current. It's not like there's waves crashing or anything. Even if there are waves crashing out in the bay, it wouldn't be crashing there. But what makes the swim difficult is after that really long straightaway, you take a left and then another quick left, and you start coming back to the swim exit. So it's like it looks like a little L. Like you go out, you take a left, and then you come down and you take another left. So the swimmers are going like this. Some people are going out to on the course, and some people are coming into the finish. And in theory, they should be like far enough away that they're not impacting one another. But I don't know why. The athletes that are going in opposite directions are like really close to each other, maybe like 50 meters. I mean, you got 1,000 people swimming going opposite directions. It creates like this
Whirlpool
blender.
almost.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a blender or like a washing machine. So you're creating this current and you're almost like going nowhere for a short amount of time. So, I mean, I remember coming out last year and I looked at my watch and I was 10 minutes slower than my goal. 10 minutes. And I told myself, and then I ended up finding out, what happened. And like everyone was like 10 or 15 minutes slower. And so I went into it this year knowing that, and it didn't bother me. And I was like 7 or 8 minutes slower than I wanted. I was still slow, but it didn't bother me because I knew that it would happen. Like I was like 8 minutes slower than Happy Valley, and I swam well at both races. So um, it's just a hard swim. It's a slow swim, to be honest. Um, but it doesn't bother me. Like it didn't bother me at all this year. So I was pleased in that sense. But um, yeah, it's a tough swim. And actually, I had one other thing about the swim. It was wetsuit optional. It wasn't wetsuit legal. So wetsuit legal is 76.1 degrees or under. Anybody can wear a wetsuit, whatever. Wetsuit optional is 76.2, so zero point 0.1 degree higher, up to like 82 or 83, wherever their cutoff is, that nobody can wear it because of an increased cardiac event if it's too hot in the water, which I've never seen that, but I've raced a couple wetsuit optional races at this point. So it was wetsuit optional because it was like 77 or something. So I didn't wear a wetsuit. So I put a swim skin on. It was the first time I ever wore my swim skin, which I will say first and foremost, you should never do anything for the first time on race day. And I did. And that was a little bit of a mistake, just in terms of like the stress that came about, because this is what happened. You put your wetsuit or your swim skin on, you only hike it up to like your gut or your waistband. Then once you're in the line, you'll put it up over your shoulders and then get zipped up and you're good to go. I put it on backwards, but I put it on backwards only up to my waist, so I didn't know it was on backwards.
Mm.
And then 10 minutes to the race start, athletes are going into this ferry and we're like shoving ourselves up to the front of the ferry, and I'm pulling it up over my shoulders and I'm like looking down and I'm like, what the heck did I do? This thing's on wrong. So I like get off. Go ahead.
One job. You
Yeah.
had one job.
How
You had a
stupid is that?
50-50 shot, bro.
Yeah. How
You got a
stupid is
PhD, man. What are you doing?
I honestly think like the comfort level of this race for me like led to that happening, because it feels like such a backyard event to me.
Complacency kind of killed you on
Yeah.
that one a little bit.
So I was just like, whatever. I'm ready. This is going to be a fun time, whatever. So, I get out of line, I pull it down, I'm pulling it back up. Finding somebody to help me zip it up in the back because it doesn't zip exactly like a wetsuit. And again, I would have known this had I done this ahead of time. Didn't do it ahead of time. So do as I say, not as I do on that one for sure, because that was really stupid. Anyways, what was also stupid about the swim skin is it completely like chalk. You can't really see it in this video. A little bit right there. It completely like ripped up my neck. And you get that sometimes with a wetsuit, but because I'd worn my wetsuit a bunch, I knew that it would happen with my wetsuit to whatever degree. So like I put some stuff on it, whatever, and it feels good. I didn't think it would happen for the swim skin. And of course, it destroyed my neck and I felt it in the water. So as soon as I'm out and I'm sweating, it's just like burning and I'm just like so annoyed at myself. So I just did not plan well for the swim at all.
May have been your wetsuit, or it may have been Lake Erie, bro. I don't know. You just
Yeah,
never know. Yeah,
yeah.
that pH balance might be a little bit screwed up.
Oh Lord
I was gonna, dude.
Almighty.
I was gonna ask you a stupid question too. Did they make you climb back up on the boat?
You know, man,
That's what
this
you need to do. Yeah.
no, but the swim exit was so dumb. I was so ticked off. They had like they built these three or four little ramps that you would assume go the whole way, like at least down under like the height of an average human, so that when you get there, you're like walking onto it if you're upright in the water. These ramps were like only 3 feet under the water. So if you're 6 foot tall, you think you're going to walk onto this ramp. People are like going back under the water because they didn't realize how shallow the ramp was. They had to essentially like do a muscle up to get onto it, right? But you're in the water, so it wasn't hard. But people are like banging their shins and like hitting their elbows. It's like I was so ticked at the way that the swim exit was set up. And I don't think it was like that last year. It was not super comfortable. So that was really annoying. Whatever. Is what it is. I knew the swim would be tough. I swam well. I thought it was about 7 to 8 minutes slower than I wanted. But um, this bike course, I don't really have anything else about the swim. Did you have anything?
Nothing. I could probably keep joking on about Lake Erie and,
Yeah, totally.
the thousand reasons why I'll never go back there. I mean, you had me at rough swim and Lake Erie.
Yeah,
So no, I don't have anything else to touch on it in a professional manner at all.
yeah, it's
So
hilarious.
yeah,
Um,
but
the
but
bike,
onto the bike, sir. You
yeah, the
clearly
bike
didn't
course.
fall. You didn't fall off.
I did
So
not fall.
ooh,
Yeah,
improvements.
I know. I was like, the only reason I would crash on this course is if, and this is like my biggest fear, is if someone like dropped their water bottle in front of me and it's just like bouncing, 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 and like gets caught in my spoke or something stupid. Um, so I knew that I was going to ride this course pretty strong. Um, I've ridden it a billion times, and ironically, so just a little recap. I was injured before Happy Valley on the left side of my body and my left groin, where I couldn't run at all for 3 weeks before Happy Valley. So I basically just like went into Happy Valley almost completely blind on the run, which is what it is. But because I couldn't run, I was able to bike, oddly enough, and it didn't hurt at all. So I got some good bike fitness in like the 6 weeks ish time frame of like these two races, like the training for them. So I got some pretty good bike fitness. After Happy Valley, my left side is still healing. I crashed, so now I'm dealing with the right side of my body issues, but they both started healing like a week and a half out from Ohio. So I was able to actually run, and I jogged a few times, but I didn't have like run fitness because I'd run so little in like a 6 week span. So I biked a lot. I knew I could bike this course really, really hard and really fast. It's basically completely flat. Um, and a couple weeks before the race, I rode the course as hard as I possibly could, 90%, 95%, just to see how my body would feel if I ran for like 10 or 20 minutes. I rode the course in like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and like I ran for 20 minutes and I felt incredible. So I'm thinking to myself in my head, okay, if I bike a little bit harder than I traditionally would, it's kind of like serving as a better warm up for my body on the run. And then I was also counting on like race day adrenaline to have a really nice bike split and bike hard. So I did. I biked hard and I biked under 235, like almost 22 miles an hour average. Again, it's like completely flat essentially. So literally just ripping the whole time. Um, I probably had a little bit more in me, but to some degree, you have to pull back so you feel like you can have a good run. Whatever. I got off the. I got off. I don't even have anything really to report on the bike. It's very, very flat. I pretty much came out around 21 miles an hour almost immediately, and I slowly pulled it up to almost an average of 22, like just around there. I don't think I had any. I'm trying to. I don't have any like real issues on the bike or anything. Flat as can be. I'm so familiar with it. I can ride it without even like I don't know where I don't need any signs or indications of turns or anything. Like that's literally how often I've ridden the course. Lots of farmland. It's really it is. It's a nice ride. Tiny little rolling hill once or twice that some people got annoyed at because they see flat and then there's one hill and they decide to get ticked off, but whatever.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. So I
yeah.
get back from the bike and I'm like feeling very, very good. I rode hard enough that I felt like my legs were warmed up enough that my hip and my groin would like be good enough to have a solid run. Like for me, a
I
solid half
mean,
iron. Yeah, a solid half
two,
iron, half marathon is like 2:0 something, under 2:10.
'Ten, yeah,
10-minute pace, whatever.
yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. And I started out, I wasn't even looking at my watch for like 3 miles, 4 miles, 3 miles, 3 miles. I just went off a feel and I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to pull myself back. I'm like, I don't care if I'm going out super slow. I just want to feel good for a few miles and then I'll kind of calibrate and see what I have. So 3 miles goes by and I'm averaging like 9:40s, which is faster than I wanted to be at that time, honestly. But in my head, I'm like, maybe this is what I have today. Like maybe I'm gonna run a 9:30 average. I realized like mile 7, that wasn't happening, and like this is a good learning moment for everyone, not just me. But I think it's important to walk the aid stations like from the start. I didn't. I didn't. I tried to like jog them and still get everything. Just walk the aid. I mean, you walk the aid stations compared to a slow jog, you might lose like an extra
Couple
15 seconds.
seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
15 seconds maybe. Just walk them, regain yourself. In hindsight, that's what I would have done, which isn't the end of the world that I didn't. I still had a decent race. Um, but I ended up like slowing down my run, obviously, and then also adding in the aid station walks. So I ended up averaging right around like an 11-minute, which still is not the end of the world.
Hmm.
Especially with like minimal run fitness. I wasn't like upset or anything. I had a much better overall race than Happy Valley, so I was thrilled in that sense. Um,
Good.
yeah, yeah. And then honestly, the other thing, I had so much family there too, which is I think is important. Like even if you have a couple people there and like you see them once or twice, it can just like do so much for you. So
It's the external motivation, man. You know,
yeah,
you're not
and
gonna let
like
your three kids and
right,
everybody else, and yeah, I get it.
yeah. So of course, I'm doing this race right, and it's you're pushing yourself. You're suffering a little bit, but my wife is wrangling all three of our girls at this
You're
race.
like
Not the
you're
whole
like,
time,
yo,
but yeah,
you're like, yo, I'll do another half Ironman right now before I
yeah,
gotta go do this for 6 hours.
yeah. I mean, the real MVP right there, though, for real. I mean, because seeing the girls is, I mean, you can't put a price on that, man. I mean, you'll be
Yeah,
there. You'll be there, right?
yeah,
But it's just like
yeah. I mean,
it's the best feeling when you see your kid like jumping up and screaming for you and stuff. So that was pretty awesome. Um,
I just gotta say this real quick. There ain't no way that I'm gonna be able to walk no aid station if Grace is over there yelling at me. So I'm gonna have to run that one, regardless of what you just said, because she's gonna make fun of me for it. So
no way. I'm gonna have
I,
a
I,
talk.
I'm
I'm gonna have a
I'm
talk with
kidding, I'm
her
kidding.
then because you are walking
I'm
these aid stations.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, but yeah, and then my wife's family, like her sisters, their husbands, my nephews, her parents. I mean, it was awesome just to see everybody. It was really, really cool. And then obviously I have to give another big shout out to Victory Multisport. Like the coolest thing about Victory is like there's this cohort of athletes that will go to these races. They're not racing and just park it.
Show up.
Yeah, park it in under the tent and just scream their heads off for everyone. Not even only Victory athletes; they're screaming their heads off for everybody. Um, the entire race. I mean, it was just such a great vibe, such a great like atmosphere for Victory and the team, and a lot of other athletes raced really really well, and maybe got a first time finisher in there as well. Like it's just an awesome freaking race. Also, what's really special, I think, to me is like this is where me and Coach Kenny, not Kenny Rogers, right? Not you, if people are listening, but Coach Kenny Lehman from Victory. This is where we kind of connected for the first time last year, a year ago, and then I started with Victory almost immediately after. He was just hyping me up on this course like out of nowhere, and I had no clue who he was last year. And then we connected afterwards and started talking, and here we are today. But so it's kind of special in that sense too. A little, you know, an important moment for, I guess, me hopping into the Victory family, which was awesome. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of this race for a lot of those reasons. What do you got? Anything?
No, I mean, just kind of to branch out on the Victory thing too. I mean, obviously, I don't know any of these people personally. I haven't actually met anybody in person, but just from watching Instagram stories and seeing the way that they kind of operate amongst each other, like even though I'm sure that they're slowly expanding or getting bigger, it still does seem like a pretty cool, like almost like kind of family vibe almost amongst all of them. Where
Mhm.
like you just said too, where it was like people were showing up to these races that weren't even competing,
Yep.
right? And they're still supporting each other, which is great. I mean, because like any sport, whether it's individual or a team or whatever, it's like nobody can do anything by themselves, right? If you want to go far, you got to find somebody else to go far with you, right? So having a team like that, whether they're competing or not, or having a coach from them or not, like they just seem like a good group of people to be a part of. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And hey, if anybody from Victory wants to come out to the West Coast and
Yeah.
come hang out in Sacramento, may not be the best part of California, but I can think of worse places in California.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's possible someone else might be doing that race. I don't want to get ahead of myself though and like call that person out, but I think someone is considering it. So we'll
Well,
keep you posted.
if they feel so inclined, I will stand out because I am 5'5" and I am probably overweight for the sport, and I have a large head, and I also purchased the very bright Victory Multisport uh, tri suit.
The large
So
head.
yeah, bro, you're
You're
gonna be
out
able to
there.
find me, man.
You're out there looking like a Ninja Turtle.
No, dude, it's a bobblehead, bro. Come on.
Oh man, that's great. Oh,
But
I don't think
yeah,
I
that's
have
all I had.
anything else, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
it was a great race. I guess the only other thing that I can say, I don't even know if we've spoken about this officially, but I cannot do this race next year because I registered for Lake Placid full Ironman, which is the same weekend. So
Nice.
I'm excited about that.
Who knows where the sport will take me? I might be making a
Yeah,
trip to the East Coast, or I
yeah,
might absolutely hate this and never do this again. I'm kidding.
yeah, yeah. So
uh,
I'm definitely going to be back at this race in Ohio in 2 years for sure, because I absolutely loved it. It's very convenient for me, but I guess on top of that too, my one of my brother-in-laws who was there, he's married to my wife's sister, um, wants to do it. He's probably someone who could like just show up and do it. Like That's kind of just how he is. Not like he would win anything, but he's very like aerobically fit, aerobically inclined. He always has been. He said he ran a marathon in his 20s. He's like 30, 37 or 38, but ran a marathon in his 20s, right? So, significant long time ago, but like in like a 3:30 without drinking or eating anything just because he just kind of rolled out of bed and did it like
Nice.
so I mean
I like this
he
guy.
has like the fight in him to do something like a 70.3 for sure. He rode the course with me once painfully, but he still did it like pretty much from nothing to 56 miles. You know what I mean? So, and he's run a bunch of half marathons, a marathon or two, I think. So he can do it. It's just whether or not he does it like efficiently and like pain free. Yeah. So I'm
Well,
actually really hoping that he still wants to do it 2 years from now and we can kind of do it together, which would be awesome. So, um, I don't have anything else, I guess. Do you have anything?
not much, man.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Just
if you stuck with us this long, appreciate it. This was episode 78. A little bit of I guess a little bit of everything. We talked a lot about Hawaii and babies, and um, then on to the Ohio 70.3 recap. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us. Also, just so I don't forget, Rick, if you're still listening, reach out to us, connect with us because it was awesome to see you at the race, and I appreciate the shout. And just want to connect again, not in person, but whatever, whatever. Send us an email at hillpursuit@gmail or any of the socials. So, and that goes for anybody. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Hillpursuit@gmail.com. Check out the website hillpursuit.com for all of our coaching stuff, our nutrition coaching stuff with Coach Kenny, and then just the YouTube channel, the Spotify, Podbean, Google. I got to remember this. I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, the podcast itself, streams wherever you get it. So Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Google, wherever. And if you are listening there, don't forget we do have a YouTube channel, so check that out as well. Anything else from you?
not me. I'm good.
All right. Thanks for being here, guys. Next time.